my age who are obsessed with productivity in this rat race that America likes to call capitalism, I too like to plan out all of my days and my life in hopes of feeling more in control, even though everything can change in a matter of a few days. AKA this whole year. All jokes aside, this year has just kind of been a mess to say the least, and I have just felt like none of the systems that I had in place for me to get my work done had really been working, especially during this winter break. Normally I use Google Keep to track everything that I want to do in a day and track all the things I want to get done in a week, in life, etc, etc. But my brain just felt so stuffy from it all, and I felt like it wasn't working. And at the start of this break, my school sent me this Welcome to USC freshman package that had a planner in it, and ever since then I've been using that planner to write down the things I want to do in a day, and it feels so good. There is something about just being able to write something down and then cross it off when you're done, which is so different than just clicking a button. There's some mind-hand connection there. I don't know, science. And since then, I've been watching a lot of bullet journaling videos where people just have their own setups and habit tracker systems and just everything in one place. And I really like that idea, as opposed to me having a Google Keep and a Google Calendar and spreadsheets to track all these different things. So that brings me to today's video, where I am going to be showing you guys my 2021 bullet journal spread. We're going to be making it together. I'll take you guys along on the process. This is my first time doing this, so it may not be perfect, but I really liked how I set it up, and I think it could be useful for you guys. So without further ado, let's just get on into it. I was obsessed with stationery in high school, so I have quite the collection. By no means do you have to have these tools to make your own bullet journal. A simple pen and ruler will do the job. I like to use a gel pen for writing in the planner as opposed to pencil, just because it's darker, and objectively 0.38 is the best tip size. I chose 4 pastel primary colors for the spread. Gray and yellow are the Pantone colors of the year, which works out well. I tried to match the colors across all my writing materials so I can use them to complement each other. Now let's get started. The journal comes with an index, which is really helpful. I already sketched out some of the pages because otherwise this video would have taken me ages to film. I kept the front page simple. I'll be honest, I messed up the text a little on the top, but I think the lines fixed it. Fair warning, there are going to be many happy mistakes in this video, aka me just being really nervous and then messing up and then having to fix it with whiteout. I also numbered the lines on the sides and the top for future reference if I need to measure out future spread designs. On the edges, I tried to add some lavender-like flowers, but they weren't going as planned. Nevertheless, I still think it turned out cute. I noticed the pages are not ink-proof, so keep that in mind if you're going to buy this journal. On the next page, I wrote this note to myself that I'd written back in May when I decided I was going to go to USC. I remember I've just felt so insecure because of how cool everyone seemed on the Facebook page. I thought I would have to change myself to fit in, so I wrote this note to keep me sane and grounded. At the bottom, I was feeling particularly inspired, so I wrote a few kind words to myself. It sounds cheesy, but I wrote, "This is my year to grow. This is my year to make the most of every situation and be the best I can be," which is the most I can ask for 2021. On the next page, I kept some space for me to write any quotes I think are important with regard to self-development and self-love, because that is something I want to focus on this year. These pages could be cuter, but regardless, they are some of my favorite because I love the idea of being able to look back in 20, 30, 50 years and see what I was reading, watching, and listening to. In the book section, I made a key to track whether I made book reports for the books I read and whether I attended book meetings to discuss the book with other people. Goals for 2021 is to save $2,000 and spend less on unnecessary items or items I buy on a whim. So I created this tracker system. I'll put all my savings in blue and spending in yellow. I already track my spending in a month on a spreadsheet, so this will be a way for me to track the totals of each month. I'm really excited to track on my spending and saving habits and really see how they play out over a year. Year in videos is something I saw somebody else do, but it doesn't have to be specific to videos. You can customize this page to any field. If you're an artist, a Depop seller, music creator, literally anything, you can track your work and your growth in a similar way. Here, I'm tracking my views, videos, and subscribers. I'm turning 20 in 2021. That is absolutely crazy to me. I'll have a separate video detailing my 20 by 20 goals, so stay tuned for that. At the bottom, I wrote big dreams. I said that I wanted to meet and interview Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris. I'm hoping to manifest it by putting out into the world, and I'll figure out a plan to make it happen later. Ever since reading Cal Newport's book on how to succeed in college, I want to track my goals for each semester. These can be as simple as writing essays earlier, or taking more time off to relax, sleep earlier, or attend 2 speaker events. Then, to make myself feel better at the end of the semester, I saved a space to track my achievements, which can also be big or small. Now we are getting into January. I wanted to keep this simple, aka I didn't want to have to use more materials because I was kind of upset that everything was bleeding through. I wrote out a calendar because it's nice to get a bird's eye view of the month, and I left some space at the bottom to fill later. Whenever my mom goes to the grocery store, I forget if I need anything, so I figured I can write it down there in that space. These next few pages are inspired by a journal I saw in Papier, but it would cost $90 for the entire year, so I just made it myself. First, I'm setting up 3 goals for the month and then giving myself a space to write how I'm going to get it done. This is such a critical step because any goals without a plan is just a dream. Those goals become reality when there's a clear plan, so I think this system is going to be really helpful. Next, I have my habit tracker system. This is a simple way for me to build awareness of my habits, but not to tear myself down for not doing it. My hope is that I make each of these a habit by the end of the month, so I no longer have to track myself doing it. It just becomes a part of how I live. I will probably make another video where I go more in depth into habit building, its importance, and how to do it simply. Okay, on to the actual planner system. On the left, I'm writing out a place to schedule events, for example, a class or a club meeting. On the right, I have a section for top priorities to get done that day, and then just below, a place for any other tasks. One way of thinking about tasks that changed my mind is the idea that tasks we do in a day are like glass and plastic balls. The glass balls are priority 1 tasks that if they don't get done, they'll have a large negative effect. The same way that if you drop a glass ball, it shatters. Plastic balls, if they're dropped, are fine because they won't shatter, they'll just bounce back. Likewise, 2nd and 3rd priority tasks are those that would be good to get done, but it's not a big deal if they're not done because they can be done the next day. I just said done too many times in that sentence. As long as the glass balls are taken care of, all will be well, and this idea really changed my frame of mind because it's a good reminder to be more realistic about my time and how much I can spend on each task. On the last page, I wrote a section to reflect on the goals. This is a critical step because by reflecting, I can take note of what worked, what didn't work, and then recalibrate for the next month. Lastly, I went back and added paper clips to specific pages, the money and habit trackers, so I have easy access to them. Okay, let's go through one final flip through. Despite this not being the prettiest, I think the setup is going to be super useful, and I'm so excited to get started using it. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you. I'm so excited to make some use out of this and really just take it with me throughout my whole year. If you guys have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want to see an updated version of this in about 6 months, what worked, what didn't work, what I like, what I don't like, etc., let me know in the comments. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!